Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Eric Leigh-Pink with worldwidepredictions.com. Nice to see everyone. I'm going to jump right in, get started. We start with the Middle East. There's a battle between two different forces, the Sunnis and the Shiites. Iran versus Saudi Arabia. We fully predict in the year 2025, Iran's regime is set to fall. It's going to start in 2025, carry all the way over to 2027. One would think that means one side has won. The other side's lost. You would be mistaken, unfortunately, because also in this century, Saudi Arabia is expected to fall as well. That one's more financial. That one feels like basically someone invents this machine where you could stick it in your vehicle and all of a sudden the gas prices just plummet. I mean, it's just like half of what we normally have. Any nation that uses gas or oil as its main component is set to plummet. I mean, there's just the whole prices just plummet. I mean, it does great for climate change, but so yeah, just that's the prediction for today. The green room will fall in 2025. I want to talk about the plan. Our plan. Here's what we're going to do. Today we're going to talk about our plan. Next week we're going to talk about heaven's plan. The following week we're going to talk about the devil's plan. And present this in layers so you understand where we're going with all of this. Because now we have a very specific, very clear direction. But let's start from the beginning, all the way back when we started this project, 2013, when we started our world predictions. We didn't really have any notion of how to do it. All we had was Nostradamus, and he was 500 years ago. So, in notes of 7/23/2014, and we all know what this is, 2020, right? The virus, yes, it's deadly. Threat, and it will pop up in other locations. But the real threat comes in fear. Fear and cold, calculated response will be more damaging. Watch for it. We predicted it. Words of security. I'm assuming they're talking about the Chinese quarantine. I mean, we're talking about COVID. But nobody noticed this prediction. You tell me. Right now, just throw it out there. Have you heard of this prediction? Have you read it? Yes or no? Just let me know. I'm curious. I'm actually really curious. Have you heard this prediction before? Because it didn't get any markers, any notice whatsoever. But you fast forward to the predictions of today, and they're all getting noticed. And they're all getting noticed because I'm presenting it just right before it happens. Right before it happens. And there's a sense of almost like an emotional connection, like a shock and awe. Like, here it is, and then bing. Here it is, and then bing. But it's not more accurate. I'm just presenting it right before it happens. And that's what we're going to be doing. That's the direction we're taking this. And not only are we taking it that direction, but we honestly feel that would be the impact that we need. We're going to try this. We're going to leave a nugget. One prediction for each week, the following week. That's why we're on Instagram. So that we can then predict a message for the next week. And then the next one for the next week. If we can pull it off, we hope we can because we've been testing it, then think of what we can do with a trail. Say a hurricane. If we can predict the event and keep going with it. Right? That's the plan. That's the hope. That's where we're hoping to take this project. But first step is to give you the predictions. So the hope is by next week, have at least one prediction for you that will follow and carry over the following week or the following week after that. It's not going to be exact, guys. We're not expecting it to follow in that 7 days, but the hope is to have it within at least a 10-day span of time. That's the plan. We're hoping it works. If it works, I mean, we have to be making an impact at that point. Okay, moving on to that. Woo. The roots of life hold all the weight. This is the Shimmer's philosophy, his foundation, his belief, the principle that family is first. Family is the foundation. And you have to take care of family. You have to take care of family because no matter what, you're going to fall. There's going to be a moment where you're going to need help. There's going to be some event where you're going to need assistance. There's going to be some moment where you're going to need that family. So you have to tend to it. You have to make it your priority to ensure that everyone in that room is taken care of. And that's his philosophy. That's his belief system. Take care of your family, and they will take care of you, and everything will be well. But, as life would have it, it's not exactly how it always plays out, is it? Sometimes we have a family member that doesn't really fit the bill on that. And nobody knows that better than I do. I foster children, for Pete's sake. I have these parents, they're quite vile human beings. And it's just like, whew, what is wrong with you? I endlessly ask the spirits, excuse me, why did you put that poor little child with that human being? Explain it to me. To which they do. Now, there's a story for each and every one of these individuals, but I give you 2 common theme threads that pop up on a regular basis and how they latch to each other in a unique way that kind of symbolizes why do we have these people that are like, I'm sorry, why do we get stuck with these humans that are totally horrible human beings? Okay, getting off track. Here's the story, first story. It is adoption day. We just adopted the kids, Christian and Abraham. We're going to school. We are walking to school. It was a thing. I thought I'd walk them to school. It was cute. And the spirits decided they were going to participate. Diana's gathering all the spirits together. We're going to walk the kids to school. Woohoo! And I'm like, you really don't have to go, Diana, but okay. And so she's gathering all the spirits, but she's bringing the guards, the ones that do the world predictions, and things like that. And they're these like soldier types, like, and it's like, ma'am, we don't do that. She's like, you don't? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you do. Come on, let's go. And she start pulling out cards like, I'll call the lords. Do you want me to do that? Really? And so everybody's going. And so it's weird because I'm walking and you see these, it's like balloons. Like all these spirits are behind me, going with me. And they're kind of like dancing. Woohoo, we're walking with Eric. Woohoo. Taking the kids because we're all excited. These are our new children. And they're always around, so it's very exciting to them too. And so walking the kids. Now understand, because they're there, everything's charged. Everything's ready to go. Everything's juice. I'm ready to pull the trigger. We're moving forward everything is alive. These 2 people walk by. As I've told you before, my talent works like it's layered. I've gotten all the keys to the power. Right? Clairaudience, clairvoyance, all of them, readings, all these different talents that come with being a spiritualist. I collected them all. I made them mine. And what I found out is not only can you layer them, but you can smash them like a sandwich. You can eat them like a sandwich. You can almost turn the knob like a sandwich, right? To where you get it all at once. Right? When you eat a sandwich, you get the tomato, you get the bacon, you get the lettuce all at once. So there's a real sense of now I'm able to turn it on. That's why I explained it to you the last time. So I can go into this story saying, okay, I'm going to turn this on. What am I picking up here? What am I seeing? So I'm walking along. There's two people in front of me. And this man walks up to me. I immediately pick up the scent, the clairvoyant scent. And because I'm in this tone, right? I'm in this mode. I'm eating. I have my talent all fully read. It's like, show it to me. Show it to me. Come on. So I'm just like, Spirit, show me what this is. And the scent behind it was vile. This man, he had tattoos on. He was just like, and you could smell the drugs coming off of him. He sold drugs. I could smell his corruption. He was a liar. And he had a child next to him. The child had to be like 8. And I'm just like, no, this poor child. I will be fostering him soon. I was so upset. I was like, no. I just wanted to hang it up at that moment. Then, just as I got upset, my little one, who I was walking with, dropped his cup. And I went over to grab it. And just as I grabbed it, the other child went to go pick it up and he touched me. Now that's a whole different layer. You touch me and you are connecting to me. Right? That connection to the spirit is stronger. And so he's just touching me accidentally, and all of a sudden all the information is pouring through. And I'm in a vision. Boof. Right then and there as I'm walking to school. And I'm having a vision. And we're in heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. And you see this angel come down. And he says, bring him back to us. Bring him back to us. And then he's got this letter in his hand. Another brown envelope. You've got the brown envelope in his hand. He's handing it to this man who's on one knee, and he's got his sword out. He's like, yes, I will do this for you. And he takes the letter, and they run off. And he says, use love. Always use love. And you see him kind of running off, and that's the boy. That's the boy. So here it is. Here it is. This boy was sent here by a higher authority to bring this individual who's got issues. He's not representing the higher authority here, clearly. But pull you back to where you belong. But at the cost of his own suffering. Like, wow, how utterly noble of you. Like, that is beyond noble. And that's the point. Which takes me to faith. Don't want to step on any big grenades here, but we're going to go there. When I was a child, I was told, when I went to Bible study, that the story goes like this. Lucifer was thrown out of heaven. How dare you? How dare you for betraying me? He's just thrown out. Get out of my heaven. How dare you? And cast it down onto earth. That's the story. When I connected to the spiritual realm, it's the same story, slightly different. Because the story shifted to that dark force leaving very hostily. There was a battle, there was a fight, all of that. But the Creator was sad. The Creator was heartbroken. This was his children. He wanted his children back. He loved his children. He adored his children. This was something heartbreaking for him. There was love for his children. So this, all of us, is an effort to bring his children home. And all of us need to realize we all have it backwards. If you're thinking at home in any way, shape, or form, why is there so much evil in this world? Why is there so much darkness in this world? You're looking at it backwards. Why is evil so blessed with us? Why is evil so allowed to be given so much from us? That's the way you need to perceive it. That's the way you need to look at it. And the more compassion, the more kindness, the more love, just like the boy, the more you pull at the tethers towards them, towards heaven. Because as I'm about to show you, going the opposite way isn't all that. Because there's another story to the same thing. Okay? The roots hold weight. This is the Shimmer Way. And it says, listen, principles matter. They just do. You don't get to hurt people. You just don't. It's wrong. And if you do it, there's consequences. What are the consequences? He gave me this line. If you serve evil, then you serve evil. I thought to myself, what does that mean? Yeah, it was dark. Hoobie. Think of Jim Jones. Right? Think of that man, Bible thumper. Another cult leader. Any cult leader. You're enamored power. You're not enamored with the figure. You're enamored with the power they yield. And you do what that figure wants. Could be a dictator. It's another one. From KKK to the Nazis, you're doing what the leader wants. Power. What the spiritual realm aims to do to you is reverse it. Fine. You want to serve that darkness. You want to serve that, then serve it. So expect you to now be obedient to that. Right? So that now you're stuck with it. Now you are their servants. That's the goal of it, right? You know, the notion that when you pass over, you're the servant of these figures, of these horrifying figures that you are now required to provide for them. It's kind of grotesque when you think about it. But also it's the ideal of it. So allow me to give you another story. It's two clans in the 18th century. They're both killing each other. And in between the killing each other, they're both killing people in between. Lots of kids, lots of things. But they're just shooting each other. They hate each other with a passion. They hate each other, hate each other, hate each other. Eventually, there's a bloodbath. And I think the two elders are still alive. And from what I'm told, the creator decides, fine. In the next life, the two chiefs of these families will be brother and sister. And until they love each other, until they figure out how to serve each other appropriately, they're stuck with each other. So you can see how horrifying those first couple of lives would probably be. And honestly, we were. He showed me the first one. They pretty much starved. It did not go well. And so they put you in these scenarios. Now, recognize that if you're put in a situation like that, You don't want to be there. But that boy is reminding you, wait a second, over here is better over here. So there's a pull, there's a tether. And that's what life is doing. It's pulling these figures one way or the other. Hey, it's better over here. No, it's better over there. Better over here. It's better over there. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to choose one path or the other. And there's a sense of that's the key we hold. Is forgiveness and compassion and kindness and most of all, love. Because that dictates the terms. That is what pulls us in a direction to where we can then serve the Creator, to where we can then give to the Creator what the Creator wants most of all, and that is His family. My name's Eric Leigh-Pink. Okay, questions. Woohoo. Oh, that was right on time, huh? How are you guys doing today? Any questions? Anything going on? What do we have here? Sandy! I read yours, but no. We had Bee's funeral. That was very nice. Went very well. Hola. Hola to you. Hi. Hi. Blessings to you. Nice. Okay. Anything else, guys? This is way too short, guys. Come on. Questions, concerns, anything out there that you guys want to know about? Nothing? What is happening in the world today? Well, I think the big things that there's three things we're expecting. I'll just tell you at the top of my head. For 2025, if you look at the 2015 predictions, there's a whole bunch of messages. Like one talks about the plane falls from the sky. The other one talks about there's a terror attack involving a plane. The other one talks about some sort of Turkey event with a plane. There's all these different plane scenarios that kind of unfold. I will say some of them are accidents, but we are expecting planes. That's one of the big things we're expecting. The other thing that we're expecting is Iran. Flat out Iran. We're expecting that to tumble and fall. The way they make it sound, I don't think it's today, because it was hot. I do remember that particular part. But they make it sound like coming within the near future, the regime is just set to tumble and fall. That's the big news coming down the pipeline. We also have an earthquake coming, but I don't have the details yet. I'm still working on the details. It's pretty big, but they flat out said that the ring of fire is on fire. So, okay. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? You know, I honestly, true story is people ask me for betting things like that and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't actually work that way in the sense of I can't predict who wins the game, but as the game is being played, I can kind of see what the next thing is going to be. I can kind of, he's going to miss it. Oh, no, he's going to, look, he's going to get, like, there's a sense of I can see it right beforehand, but I don't really actually get to see the scoreboard or anything like that, so. Chinese desire to take Taiwan. Oh, don't tell me there's a sound problem. Ouch. Sorry about the sound problem. The sound problem. What is up with that? I bought these fancy machines and it's not working, huh? Go back to the sound problem. Is the weather going to be better this year? I haven't looked at it, to be perfectly honest, so I don't know yet. Usually I don't look at the weather until March. The focal point is this project of what's next. So I'll have to get back to you on weather, but I'll definitely put it on the docket. Any new news about Chinese desire to take Taiwan? They can't afford it right now. Like if they did it right now, that would really affect their economic situation. From the hope there's this, I don't know if I should be saying that. There's a sense that if Russia doesn't succeed, then they can kind of splinter off this land piece to the east. Take a chunk of Russia, basically. Take a little piece of Russia here, which would give them port access to the east. If they have access to the east, this port access to the east, then they can take Taiwan and not worry about the imports and the exports going in and out because they would have this over here. So there's a sense of a strategy that they haven't really sorted out yet. But there's a real understanding from Spirit that their support of Russia is grinding. There's a sense of they're grinding it down because they know that the one thing the CCP is very good at is going several steps ahead of the schedule. Like ding, 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 ding. That's also their flaw because they're not looking at now. But they're looking several steps ahead. So they're looking at the future saying, wait, we could take that piece of land, have our ships over there, take Taiwan. The threat, though, is the United States. The threat is the arrogance of the United States. The more we keep pushing that bubble, the more we kept saying, oh, we're going to put our ship over here now. It's that arrogance that we keep flaunting that makes the historical China pop out. The China that's been pushed and shoved and beaten by its neighbors and creates this angry China. I don't think we recognize that. I don't think we see that there's a history here that we need to kind of see, I guess. And there's a sense that when that pops out, they respond. They're not going to be treated that way anymore. And so there's a sense that we need to handle that better, I guess you could say. That might light the fire. So there's a bit of a if or and with that, Stephen. But yeah, it's there. I'm not expecting it right now, and I feel like the China-Taiwan situation is a bit on the back burner for now because they just simply can't afford it. Just going back, is the weather going to be calmed down? No, is the simple answer to that. We are expecting something horrifying specifically in 2027 where the sea breaks, the ocean breaks. I don't even understand it. Like the whole ocean just, and it's one specific part of the ocean. It's not the whole ocean, but it's one part of the ocean that just breaks. And so all the waters, they don't flow right. Right? This in turn leads to something we haven't seen yet. Something new. Does not exist currently. And that is a rapid shift in temperature. The middle temperature goes away. And so you have these rapid shifts where literally during the day it goes from like cold to super hot. And say, oh, it's cold, get the jacket. And I was like, oh my God, it's hot now. Just in one day. And it'll be new. And that's how the famine starts. That's how we start losing our food supply. So that's one of the things that happen. The other thing that goes with that is disease. There's a sense of the diseases start popping up because of this shifting time. So no, now, also with the weather is a shift of what we do with it. Is an understanding that when we do with weather moving forward, we start moving the needle. We start building structures that are weather resistant. We start changing the way we build our houses. We start building them in different locations. Like I don't remember where it's at. I think it's in Florida. They build houses now where they're hurricane proof, like that direction. And then there's also, I think you're in Atlanta, right? Is that right? I can't remember. But places that are super hot, they start becoming just night. So, kind of cool. We adapt, basically. About earthquake. Yeah, there's an earthquake coming. We know that it's burning. For now, right now, we can only tell that the ring of fire is on fire. But that doesn't, I mean, that could be a volcano, could be an earthquake. That's all we know so far. But we know something's about to pop. And whatever's about to pop, it's going to be pretty big. But that's all we have so far. We're waiting to see, is it on the west or the east? We're expecting it on the west, mainly because we already had the east. But we'll see. It doesn't necessarily follow the right pattern all the time. Okay. You guys, just as long as you can hear me, it scares me sometimes. People say, okay, Eric, why don't you go inside? Go inside. Yeah, here's the thing with that. They're here, right now. All of them. Chirping in my ear. I didn't say that, Eric. Like all of them, right now. This is where I work. This is where I do the world predictions. This is where I do your readings. Whether it be on the phone or right over here next to me, all of the work is done here. 2 a.m. I get up at 2 a.m. I sit here. I spend my time with the shimmer and bliss, just sort of like meditating. And then probably around 3 a.m., it's actually done at 3 a.m., we do the world predictions. Right now, though, I'm having horrible insomnia, so nothing's getting done. Will Trump approve that he can run for office again? Yeah, will Trump approve whether he can run for office again? You have to have 2/3 majority in the Congress and the Senate. Ain't no way that's happening. Just forget the politics. Forget me. Like, he'd have to have a huge chunk of the Democratic vote to have that. To change the Constitution of the United States of America, you pretty much have to have the majority of the government saying, yes, yeah, we need to change. We need to change that rule. That's not what we have right now. We have about 50-50 across the board, really. So no, I see him saying that, and I think you could make the argument that he could fight for it in 4 years, but I already said that's not happening. We expect him to become, unfortunately, there's the red, there's going to be upheaval, there's going to be situation. I'm not quite sure, again, are we talking about terrorist attacks that are coming, because we still expect that to happen too, or is it upheaval because he's seizing power? I'm not quite sure where this is going yet. There's that 20 again that keeps popping up. But on the flip side, when we did the elections, however inaccurate that was, when we did the elections, we kept telling you, listen, it's AARP. That's retirement age. I'm sorry. I know I'm being mean here. I get it. But people of that age get sick. They do. It's just reality. If you're not thinking that's going to happen here, you're not. Like, come on. He's going to get sick. Come on. That's just the way it is. And I'm thinking, you guys aren't seeing that? Like, but okay. But yeah, that's coming. And the way they make it sound like it's a blood flow issue, like boop, 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 boop. So, and I really hope he doesn't. I'm not trying to make it. I hope he gets it fixed beforehand, something of that caliber. But yeah, I definitely see him in a hospital bed. So that's another concern that we have. So no, I don't see any of that playing out at all, Cindy. Approved yet. Okay. Okay. I think that's it, guys. We did it. 30 minutes. A couple of things. Oh, I do want to leave this with this fun note with you. I don't know what it is. They're doing something very unique. We posted one of the messages where it says the dragon. Right, dragon snapping. That's us. But it's not just that. Instagram. Diana is showing me these future events where it's like we're cheating. It's like she showed me Instagram and she showed me and it was just this image where I had more of a following on Instagram than I had on the site. And I thought to myself, what? And there's just a sense of, we'll go in that direction now, right? And then this vest, I kept seeing it over and over and over again in the future. And I thought, what's that all about? And then Darren said, well, maybe you should get one, And so there's a sense of they're kind of cheating the system a bit and showing me this. And this here, the whole idea of this weekly prediction formed out of seeing it. So there's a sense of watching it happen and then sort of kind of pulling at it. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? I think that's it, guys. How about the economy? Yeah. Tariffs are good. Economy and tariffs are announced today. I haven't really looked at the economy, but from the previous predictions, the economy, it goes in three parts. The first part goes like this. Number one is we're expecting the eastern side of the world to tumble. We're expecting Russia to tumble. We're expecting parts of the Middle East to tumble. We're expecting China to tumble. We're expecting parts of Asia to tumble. But for some reason, and I don't really understand, normally it kind of hits everybody afterwards, but that makes the West fatter? I don't understand that part. How does it make us fatter? I don't okay. I'm not quite sure how that all plays out, but it's for some reason they make it sound like this gets like hey, we can't do that. That's the way they make it sound. That's number one. Number two, AI. Don't give AI the economy. You give AI the economy, you will totally regret it. Do not do that. If you do that, it will be efficient at first, but you will regret it. It's just not compassionate. It won't show 1 ounce of compassion to your situation or circumstance, and it will just mow you right down. So just know that. Know that if we go in that direction, it's not a good thing, but it will come off as a good thing at the beginning. And then the third thing with the economy is a warning. Do not split the economy into two. If you split the economy into East and West, if you divide this world into East and West, if you make the world into two different orbits, then you will inevitably lead those two orbits into World War III. Like you can't do that. Like, this is one world. Like, you can't split. You can't. It doesn't work that way. And so if you do, it'll lead to an inevitable conflict of an epic scale. So don't go there either. That's what I know so far, but honestly, I haven't really looked into the economy of right now. Everybody looked at like, oh, where's the economy going? It's going up and down. With that said, if I had money, if I was going to invest in something, it's my son over there, it would be space. 100% space. A, there's a gold mine on the moon. B, there's another gold mine on another moon on Saturn or Jupiter. I don't know which. C, there's some sort of like they find some mine and then they find other things. Like it's just the ultimate gold mine now. That is going to be the next gold rush. I'm not joking. Everybody gets a ship and starts heading that way. So and it's epic. It's pretty epic. Epic moment. And not only is it an epic moment, but it really transforms humanity. It changes humanity permanently. It just transforms us. We're an arrogant species. We truly believe that everything revolves around us. And so once we actually get out there in the cosmos, we figure out, yeah, we're an ant. At best. And even that's kind of pushing it. So. I would invest. So invest in gold? No, if I had the money, I would 100% invest in anything that deals with space. I mean, that's what I would invest in. Green to a certain effect, and then the other investment I would totally 100% invest in is India. India is set to be the superpower of tomorrow. India is set to be the gold of tomorrow. India is set to take the reins of the United States and China. So, just an FYI. Of course, that's not happening right now. It takes a little while for India to do that, but recognize that. Recognize as China splits and Russia or the United States splits. I'm over here. That's not what India is doing. We're open for anyone. We love you all. Even Russia. We love you too, Russia. Right? They are playing their hand and doing it very well. Yes, largest population, and they are set to educate their people. Like that's the next big step. Is they're going to start really educating, and then all of a sudden they're the superpower. So, the other superpower is this: the smaller nations get fed up with the big ones. Smaller nations are like, we're tired of having to listen to you big ones. We're done with that. And so they start creating these hybrids. They start creating these groups. The Nordic Alliance over here, which is very powerful. There's another Asian one over here. They go these groups. And I'm not talking about what we currently have. I'm talking about these people put their armies together and poof, it's a group. So, okay, did I miss anybody? Yeah, I love my porch. I leave you on that final note. This here, is the coolest office ever. I do all my work here. And at best it's the mosquitoes and the gardeners that bother me. That's it, But all the writing, all the typing, everything is done here. And my little heater over here. It's cool. So, and I'm always I got the dolls, I got the statues, the whole 9 yards. So, it's cool. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time. It was awesome. Next week, I really do hope to have a world prediction that will follow in the following week. And then we can do it again and again. And that's the hope. And if we can do that, we can alter tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.